All right, I just want to look at, this is one of our corporate clients. Very tall, very athletic guy. You can tell by the doorway how tall he is. He's very tall, super athletic, does a lot of outdoor biking, running. He's just kind of a triathlon type of a guy. You can see, if I was just to maybe blow him up in this position, he actually doesn't look like he's in bad posture. You can see a little bit of a forward shoulder. But what I want you to look at, again, we have our visual focal point. It is not the shoulder that we want to look at. We want to be looking at his dropped rib cage, so you can see, or sternum. You can see that his sternum is clearly more pushing down or dropping, that dropped rib cage. And in that position, his shoulder drops forward, and you can clearly see how far away his head is from the wall. So let's just see what happens, how different his posture looks just by raising the sternum up. So that's the first thing he's going to do, right there. So I want you to really look at the differences below him up, the difference in shoulder and head position, dropped rib cage, lengthening the sternum up, and you can see as he drops those shoulder blades down, and then he pulls his ab in. There we go. So let's look at that again. And the reason he moves back, you know, in the workshop, the classes, when we do the sway forward, sway back, I don't know if it's because he's an athlete and does a lot of running, but this particular gentleman really sways forward to the balls of his feet. And you can really easily see that here. So I'm going to put a line between the center of his, sorry about that, the center of his ankle and right through his ear. So you can see how far swayed forward. That's not all coming from his dropped rib cage. That's actually, he's just swayed forward. Whereas a straight line right over his ankle would have been more right here. So as soon as he raises his sternum up, it actually, center of gravity already begins to move him back. And then you can see him start dropping the shoulder blades down. And then he pulls his abdominal wall in. But I just wanted to point out the difference in sternum up versus sternum down on this gentleman. I mean, it's just really a significant difference in head and shoulder. And again, when we look at traditional ways of treating posture, instead of treating the cause, we were treating the symptoms, self-included. We would have people squeeze their shoulder blades together and try to do exercises where they would push their head against the wall. And this clearly shows that that was putting a Band-Aid on skin cancer, because what he needed to do is what we've all learned to do, is instead of making our focal point the shoulder and the head, we put our focal point on the rib cage and the sternum. And then when we lengthen those sternum up and put our rib cage in a more optimal position, that naturally moved the shoulder and the head into the correct position. So it's just another good video for you. So stand sideways in the mirror. You got to really master that lifted rib cage. If you're over 60, you are going to have to use the mirror, because you're going to think you've got that rib cage all the way lifted up. But when you stand sideways in the mirror, you're going to clearly be able to tell, oh my goodness, I could raise up, 1 to 2 more inches. Okay, that's it.